Sarah,
Aaron,
Brianna,
and Joe. And thanks for popping by MeaningFueled, where we take your problems of practice, your pops, and have a meaning-fueled discussion about where they come from and where to go from there.
we are 4 longtime educators bringing our diverse experiences to the table.
we're harnessing all the energy of popping into your teacher bestie's classroom and bringing it straight to your ears.
Let's get poppin' with today's problem of practice.
Inevitably, it happens. You lost track of time and you forget that you have to get down to art. So you have the kids stop mid-activity, you rush to the door, screw that hallway song, you got no time for that. And then you practically sprint down to the art room with them. On the way back, you dash to the bathroom for your first bathroom break since 8 a.m., even though it is now 11 a.m. And on the way back, you glance at the copier and you see that it's open. And you smile because there's a math test sitting on your desk that you forgot to copy this morning because you were doing 12 other things. So you book it right back up to your room, you grab the math test, and you're just about to head out the door when they walk in. The dreaded prep time hijacker. And 30 minutes later, they're still talking, they're still blabbering on, and that math test is still just sitting in your hand. I guess it's for tomorrow now, since it's time to go pick up the students and get back at it. So the prep time hijacker. What do you guys think?
There's one everywhere.
We've all got one.
I mean, and one would be so great because so often there are so many more than just one. You gotta really be prepared. And really, this is a problem because prep time is so precious. The district I spent 9 years in, we only had 30 minutes a day. So after the walk to and from dropping off the kids at whatever special of the day it was and that bathroom break, that 30 minutes is more like 20, and I have 5 lessons to prepare for, so much to do, so little time. So I'd sit at my desk, slap my headphones in, get like right to work on my computer, or tackling the stack of papers that was there, or grabbing everything that I needed to go make copies for, and like clearly looking busy. And then I'd hear the knock and see my door open.
Hey Sarah, are you available for now?
And like, I can't say no to that.
Can I just chat for a minute? Just a minute, I promise.
And
Quick question.
Oh, okay.
Quick question.
It's always quick.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this person a name. Let's call them Taylor. And Taylor would come in and, would start a conversation about something on topic, I'd say. They'd want to talk about one of our shared students. They'd have a question about like an upcoming lesson I was doing that they wanted to like incorporate in their lesson. It always felt like it started with a purpose. And I can't say like, I don't have time for you, when like, there's a clear purpose for it.
And it's about kids, right? Like
Right,
that,
and that's part of being a good teammate and
Part of the job.
collaborator,
Yeah.
sure. But then that conversation would devolve off of the student or the problem at hand, and now we're talking about her weekend plans.
Oh.
My favorite recommendations for restaurants in the area.
What movie did you watch?
What should she
last
order for
night?
lunch today? What are we doing here? I just like sit there and be like, the to-do list though, it's growing, it's getting bigger. And then I'd be like, well, now you're gonna just work through lunch and maybe stay after for like 20 more minutes than you planned, and like.
And you start like throwing down the signals, right? You're like, wow, like maybe if I stand up, or like pick up that like math test. Like you start trying to be like non-verbally, like, oh yeah, like I'm busy. Like I've even literally like turned my back to the person. Like, oh, I've got things and stuff. And like, take a hint.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta watch those cues, people.
Or you walk out the door and then you're like, oh, we're going to the bathroom.
Oh, you're walking with me now.
I'm going to the bathroom. And then I'm like, oh, no, I'm in the
Literally-
bathroom without my math test. Without anything I need to get done.
No,
Now I
I-
wasted 10 more minutes.
But I've literally been followed down the hallway, like, by this person. Like, they've even followed me, like, I've gotten to the copy machine, and, like, you're making your copies, and they're still going, and they follow you all the way back to your classroom. But I guess at least you got your copies made in that
You
situation.
did get that done.
I was gonna say, I feel like you're lucky in these cases because I always felt trapped. I felt trapped in my room because she would stand like in front of the door, almost like
You can't leave.
That's
blocking
it.
my whole body from doing anything else than standing there and talking to her. And I just...
And, I've been there, and I hate it, And yet, I'm going to be honest and say more often than not, I feel like I am the perpetrator
Oh, you're the
of
hijacker.
hijacking other people's prep times. And I feel like this goes back to like the situation where as a teacher, you are alone, like as the adult. Very often, you're the only adult in your room, right? Especially years when I like had like unsupported classrooms, right? Or only pull-out services for kids. Like, you don't get adult interaction time during the day.
For hours.
For hours. And I feel like my prep time would roll around and I'm spent, first of all, right? And I'm not ready to like tackle that major to-do list. Like, I need 5 minutes.
You need to like stand up and move.
And right, so then I like go for a walk, and then I like stumble upon a colleague, and yeah, I just kind of like go into their room and like want to shoot the shit and have an adult conversation. And
It's your reset.
it's my reset. Now, like, obviously, but being on the other side of it, when you've really got to get, stuff done, and you hate that person coming in, like, I now feel, like, bad that I did this so often. I do feel like I was maybe a little better at, like, picking up on the
Social cues.
social, right,
Oh,
cues.
look, she has headphones in and is
Right.
busily typing on her computer. She's not good to interrupt
Yeah,
right now.
or, like, they gave me, like, really short, curt answers, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, I'll talk to you later.
But you picked up on the cues.
Right.
And a lot of people do not.
At least I like to think that way. I don't know. Any of my former colleagues listening might be like, oh my god, no, he was the worst.
Never picked up on a single cue.
But I feel like you're looking for that, like, sometimes you just, like, need to tell someone that crazy thing that happened that morning. Sometimes, you just, like, need to vent a little bit about the frustrations that, like, only another teacher will understand.
Yeah.
And, like, that felt like a valid use of prep time in some way that, like, you're using this time as your, like, mini therapy.
Yeah.
And yet, like, the to-do list keeps growing when that happens.
And sometimes you genuinely need help. Like, sometimes you genuinely need to ask a question or get something answered because it might not affect that person's rest of their day, but it does affect you.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'd imagine, especially if you're new and you don't know what to do and you don't know what's happening, and like, everybody gets a mentor, but a mentor is not really there to help you with your job alikes. Or some districts we've had people who get paired with you that aren't even in your job, so they don't even know how to answer that question.
My mentor was the technology teacher.
Yeah, my mentor was the art teacher.
He would come in and we would sit there and, taking a prep, right? He was forced to hijack it, I guess. And he would just listen and he'd be like, yeah, I'm just really glad I'm not a classroom teacher.
Or is it,
He would just keep saying that.
working for you? Great.
He'd be like, I don't really know what to tell you other than like,
Do you need some iPad help?
I'm just glad it's not me and I don't get parent emails like that.
Yeah.
No, I think as a new teacher, so I've been on a team with many new people over the past 9 years, and I think as a new teacher, as a veteran teacher, helping out a new teacher, like, you're gonna get hijacked. Like,
Right.
those teachers are going to come
They're
in.
just gonna knock.
I
Right.
need this. And, like, I am well aware of that. And there are times when I'm like, I'm in the middle of something and I am trying to get this done, or I'm trying to just have a moment to myself. Sometimes I just need a moment with myself to, like, breathe and maybe scroll on Instagram for 2 minutes so I can just
2 minutes, sure.
Okay,
Tell
yeah.
yourself it's 2 minutes.
All
doom
25
scroll.
minutes.
Doom scroll. But they'll come in and be like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing for this math lesson after lunch or next prep. And then that's my prep time is taken by that hijacker, but it's not because
It's not malicious about their weekend.
No, not at all.
I was
And
gonna say, I feel like it's just like different levels of hijacking where like it's explainable or it's understandable and I can like have the empathy there, like, yeah, I'll just do that tomorrow or I'll do that the next time. It really got under my skin when it was like about our child at home. I was like, I could not care any less. I'm so sorry. I'm so busy. Let's save this for like drinks after school.
Right.
But yeah, nope.
Yeah, and I think it's hard. I mean, it's hard. I've been the perpetrator and I've been the victim, depending on roles. I mean, when I was new, though, I wasn't given anything. and I was like, hey, sorry to be such a nuisance. Like, also, you don't know me yet, but like, I swear I'm not this much of a nuisance all the time, except for now I'm here every single day because this is our only time to connect during the day, and I don't know you well enough to like know if you're here before school or after school, or that we can go out and get drinks. Like, we're not at that point yet. I'm brand new.
Yeah.
So I feel like at the beginning I used a lot, and then actually ended up becoming team leader on our team, and then I understood the other side because everyone had to come to me. I was like the point person for the grade level.
You were like the Lorax.
I was like
It was like Erin speaks for 5th grade.
Right. And then it was like everyone
has to come to Erin.
It was like, how many scissors do you need to like...
I just remember you telling me like the front office would call you and be like,
all the time.
There's a substitute in for like someone else on your team. I'm going to send them up to you.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, they're going to come check in with you about
your team leader, and you're like...
I was like,
please don't.
And again, trying to get stuff done, impossible. Yeah. And I have to say, sometimes it's my fault, because just like Joe, sometimes I continued the conversation. Like, I could have given a stronger signal or a stronger block to be
we
like,
all fall into
no,
that.
seriously can't right now. But then they say something and you're like, oh, it kind of feels nice to like interact with an adult for a second. Right. So it is really tough, and it's really hard to say no in not just a way that gives a signal, but also a way that people get like, not now, but later. Because then there are those people that you're like, want later with you. With you. And how do you give that? Especially when they both come to your door and you're like, oh God, how do I keep you and send you away? Like, how does this work?
Yeah.
It's really tough though, because I had one prep time hijacker who came in a pair and like always came with someone else and a new different person every time, but you were like, oh no, how do I get that one out? Because I actually have to talk to the other one. Like, how does that work? It's a tough situation.
Yeah. I mean, and it's something that I think is universal in teaching. It doesn't really matter because...
In all jobs, probably, not just teaching.
That's probably
true,
true,
yeah.
but this is all I know. But like, it happens, it's gonna happen. So how do you deal with it? What advice can we give?
All right, so I am half ashamed to admit some of my strategies, but we're going to be honest here. So I have been known to shut the door, turn off the lights, put a sign on the door that says, in a meeting, and go to a part of the room where I hope no one can see me.
I was going to say, do you have windows on your door?
Yes, and like literally would go like to the corner where you couldn't look in.
Your safe spot, if you will.
And see. And is that a little ridiculous that you're like hiding and the door is locked and you hear people like jiggle the locked door
with the lights off?
How dare you be in a meeting when I need to talk to you?
I mean, I think, you know, like when Zoom became a thing, it was easier to be like, oh, God.
Yep, sorry.
Point to your headphones.
Am I
like,
actually in a meeting? Absolutely not.
Right, like, no, but you're like totally lying to them. So yeah, I feel bad that I've like totally lied to people. Oh, I'm in a meeting, you know, or like been hiding in the corner and listened to them jiggle the door and not gotten up. But
just stay really still so they don't sense
at some point.
Movement.
It's like the millennial doorbell hiding, you know?
It's like,
It's like millennials, the doorbell rings and you're like, oh, don't answer.
Shoot down on the floor.
Those are strangers, you guys.
But in the end, like, it did protect my time.
Right.
And it did allow me to, like, get through things on my to-do list or actually grade that stack of papers. And so, you know.
I mean, that was a boundary you set.
It was, right? And it even though it sounds extreme, it's practical. I mean, right? You know, if the doorbell ringers don't think anyone's home, right? They'll probably walk away. So this is just that in your classroom.
Sometimes they will circle back though, those doorbell ringers, so you just got to
They're
be
vicious.
careful both times.
They work on commission, y'all.
No, I hiding in the classroom. I also hide in the building. I will leave my classroom.
Leave.
Oh yeah, I bring my laptop.
Where in the world is Brianna?
Where is Brianna? And
Where in the building?
And like playing hide and seek, I forgot to tell you bye.
Well, and this is a building that I went to, so I know the hiding spots.
Oh, you know all the
And like the people, you know, I'm not going to tell this podcast where I hide because those people are going to come find me.
Those are your secrets.
Those are my secrets. You find your own secret hiding spot. But you know, leaving and not being in your room. If you're able to bring your laptop with you, like go and sit in your library or go sit, I don't know, in the back of the cafeteria, like when there's nobody
Empty
in there.
conference room.
Yeah, something, or
Your Narnia door that you found secretly.
right? Oh yeah, Clothes door or something like that. Just to,
Hang out with the janitor.
Yeah, and just go, answer those emails, do what you need to do with that 10 minutes or whatever, and then go back to your room, like if you have to. Because, again, you're trying to get stuff done, and you really need those 10, 15 minutes to yourself. And I think just setting a boundary, I can't chat about that right now. Like, if that person comes by, hey, I need to talk to you about this later or tomorrow. I have too much to do right now. I need to get something done before this prep time's over. And people usually, when you are honest with them about that stuff, they're like, oh, okay, no problem. Like, they really
most
are.
People, yes.
You're right.
I feel like most teachers are people pleasers who have a hard time saying that. And most teachers, if that was said to you, like if that was said to me, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Right.
And leave. But like, it's hard to say it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to know when like,
And like we said,
enough's enough.
most people are also getting something out of the conversation and like, they're feeling, like, oh, that the to-do list can wait.
Yeah.
Because like this is my adult interaction right now. And so it takes a lot of fortitude to like really stick to your guns there and say, I need this time and I don't want to have this conversation, because you're not just like putting off them, you're also like putting off your own needs a little bit, right?
Right.
And putting whatever, your tasks first.
And I think there's a balance. And I know that when I was the perpetrator, I'd always try to like offer something that was beneficial. So not just am I here to ask you a question, but like, oh, hey, when I ask you about like that science experiment, do you want me to go get the materials for you too? Do you know what I mean? I tried to be like, hey, if I'm going to bother you and ask about this, I can go get that for you. Do you know what I mean? Or like, I'm going to copy the math test. Would you like copies of it? So if I'm going to interrupt you and then I'd be like, oh, and hey, on problem number 5, I don't get it. Or like, I need some help understanding this part, or how did you modify this? But again, I'm like offering something before I actually like take over a couple minutes of your time. So at least coming out of that interaction, I tried to do something. Now that's not always true. It didn't always work. But that was my goal, was to be like, okay. And then on the other end, it's kind of setting clear boundaries. Or like, it sounds awful, but like when the office will call in the middle of stuff, I'd be like, I am actively teaching right now. Or I'd be like, I am actively about to call a family member. I'm so sorry, I need to get off the phone.
Right.
Like I tried to be like, this is something else I'm doing, and name that purpose so that it kind of, they kind of got it. And I did have one colleague who kind of did like office hours almost, being like, hey, but if you want to come by, Wednesday's prep, that's a great prep for me. Do you know what I mean? She kind of like named it and was like, hey, Wednesday would be a great day. Like, I can take anyone on that day, and kind of like set their own boundaries that way, which sounds really awkward to be like, I can only talk to Janice on
hello,
Wednesdays.
these are my office hours, please attend them.
But at the same time, it was kind of a little bit nice. Like, people knew that was the day that you were available and ready to talk, and then other days you weren't.
You could pop by, Oh, that's nice.
I mean, because this really comes down to teachers need other teachers, and it really is about just having those interpersonal skills to like know when it's a good time and know when it's not, because we need to share ideas, we need to get advice,
That's what we're doing here right now.
we need to vent, we need to talk more about what just happens within the 4 walls of our classroom, and like remember you're still a full person, not just a teacher. But it like needs to be mutual. You have to underscore that. If someone is so busy that they are like doodling with papers while you're trying to like have a fun combo, you need to like know that's not the right time.
Please pick up on those cues. Please pick up on them.
Because we've all talked about how we've been hijackers ourselves. I have not shared that, but I have, because I have met both Erin and Brianna through work. Mm-hmm. We started as colleagues, and I can tell you that I popped into their rooms often, and probably, occasionally, definitely, took their prep time for just chatting.
For just chit-chats.
And I would like to say that I knew when that was okay and when that was not okay. When, like, Erin was like, and I was like, actually, we're done talking. You have to go. I understand. But you
picked up on
and
that.
then I'd hop
have
by
to have
after
that.
school and be like, hey, I know you're watching Criminal Minds on your laptop, but I need a minute to chat.
Well, clearly she wasn't very busy.
I was very
She was
busy
grading.
stuff and cleaning, because when else are you supposed to do that? But again, you just have to like feel the vibes, I think, is at the end of the day the advice, because you can be hijacked in a good way. I think like there have been times where I've like worked myself into a frenzy, and like that knock on the door, that interruption was really like, thank you, because I did need a break actually.
Yeah, and like those
this
adult
is
interactions ground you
Yeah.
a
Yes.
little bit. You
Yeah.
know, like when you're up to here with the kids, you know, like having a chance to just like be an adult and step back from your day, like
And I
is
think
a
for
nice reset.
For our non-teacher listeners, like, we talk to children all day long, and I think that's something that people don't actually understand when you're not a teacher, is like, we talk to children all day long. We don't have that adult interaction, and it's extremely important as teachers to have that. So that's why this is a problem.
And those interactions are not interchangeable. Like how you talk to children in a group, one-on-one, doesn't matter, is different than how you interact with adults. And like,
Or at least it should be.
I think it is in general.
Yeah.
Even the people who say like, no, I talk to my child like they are an adult. I was like, no, you really don't though. Because like what you're talking about changes, how you're talking changes, because that's human nature.
And I think if it's not mutual, like Sarah said, and you're not mutually hijacking, you do get that one Taylor who comes by and you're like, I really cannot talk to you, or like, I can only talk to you for a minute because you are going to hijack, and like, we're not really going to be mutual about this. I think that's when you do. You shut off your lights and you put up a boundary and you hold to it, even though it might be uncomfortable.
Yeah, so to sum up, hide if you need to. Set good boundaries and stick to them. Don't people please your way right out of your own boundaries. And then feel the vibes and find people who want to talk, because there are people who want to talk, I promise you.
All right. Well, thank you for popping by MeaningFueled today. Remember, we are here for you anytime. Our door is always open. You can visit our website at getmeaningfueled.com for ideas and inspiration to bring to your classroom.
Follow us at Get MeaningFueled on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky and Threads, and just MeaningFueled on Facebook.
You can share your own thoughts and stories about prep time hijackers by commenting on any of our social media posts this week, or by finding our full-length episode over on YouTube.
And remember to send us your own pops for us to discuss with a DM or at Get Meaning